There's a moment in every journey, a breaking point, where everything inside you screams to stop. You're tired, you're drained, and you start to wonder if all this effort is even worth it. You've been fighting, working, and pushing, but the results seem invisible. That's the trap. That's where most people walk away, right before it happens, right before it works, right before they win. You can't see it yet, but you're standing on the edge of your breakthrough. The pain you're feeling now is not a signal to quit. It's proof that you're almost there. The closer you get to success, the harder it gets, because the climb is steepest near the top. But if you stop now, you'll never know how close you were. Don't quit now, because this isn't the end. It's the moment that defines everything that comes next. The moment when everything feels impossible, when the weight of your effort starts to crush your spirit, is the exact moment you're closest to a breakthrough. It's strange how life works that way. The closer you get to something extraordinary, the harder it gets to hold on. The obstacles start stacking up, the doubts get louder, and the energy that once fueled you begins to fade. But this isn't a sign to stop. This is the moment that tests you, the one that separates those who almost make it from those who do. The hardest point is not the beginning. It's when you've given your all and the finish line is just beyond sight. Most people don't fail because they can't reach success. They fail because they quit too soon to see how close they were. Think about any journey you've started, whether it was chasing a dream, building something, or changing yourself. The beginning is filled with excitement. Motivation feels easy. You have vision, energy, and confidence. But as time passes, that fire starts to dim. The progress slows. The results seem far away. That's when doubt creeps in and whispers, maybe this isn't worth it. That moment is a crossroad. Quit and lose everything you've built, or keep going and earn everything you've dreamed of. It's at this stage that success starts to demand something deeper than motivation. It demands faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in the idea that if you don't stop, you will eventually arrive. The climb is always steepest near the top. Think about a mountain. The air gets thinner, your body aches, and every step feels heavier. But just beyond that point, one more push, one more burst of strength, and the view changes completely. You don't see the summit until you get there. The same applies to your life. The pain you're feeling now, the frustration, the exhaustion, it's the final test. It's not punishment, it's proof. It's proof that you're moving forward, that you're closer than you realize. The struggle intensifies right before the reward because that's when life filters out the ones who want it from the ones who deserve it. Every person who's ever accomplished something great has faced that wall, that invisible point where quitting felt easier than continuing. But those who made it didn't quit. They pushed through when nothing made sense, when every part of them wanted to stop. That's what makes their story powerful. You're not supposed to feel strong all the time. You're supposed to feel tired, doubtful, and uncertain, but still choose to move forward. That's real strength. The hardest point is not there to break you. It's there to reveal you. It's there to see if you'll let exhaustion stop you or if you'll dig deep and find that last ounce of willpower that changes everything. Because once you push past this moment, once you refuse to quit, everything you've been fighting for finally starts to fall into place. When you quit, you don't just stop moving forward. You erase the progress you've already made. Every small step, every ounce of effort, every moment you push through doubt and discomfort becomes wasted the second you decide to walk away. Quitting doesn't just end the struggle, it ends the possibility of what could have been. You might not realize how close you are when you stop. You might think you're saving yourself from more pain or disappointment, but what you're really doing is resetting everything you've worked for. Every time you quit, you start over from zero, while the version of you that kept going moves further ahead in another timeline, a timeline where you didn't let fear or frustration win. It's easy to tell yourself that you'll start again later, that this is just a break, that you'll come back when you're ready. But momentum doesn't wait. The drive you have right now, the energy you've built, the habits you've created, they fade faster than you think. And when you try to start again, it's never from where you left off, it's from the very beginning. Quitting robs you of consistency, and consistency is the only bridge between where you are and where you want to be. You can recover from a bad day, a slow start, or a mistake. But it's hard to recover from giving up. Every time you stop, you teach yourself that quitting is an option, and that becomes a dangerous habit. Most people underestimate how much they've already accomplished before they quit. They don't realize that the progress they've made is often invisible at first. Growth takes time to show itself. You don't see the strength building when you're in the middle of the struggle. You don't notice the skills forming, the resilience developing, or the lessons taking root. All you see is the lack of visible results, and that's when doubt convinces you to stop. But if you could zoom out, if you could see how far you've actually come, you'd realize that you've already climbed most of the mountain, and that quitting now would mean throwing away all that effort right before reaching the top. Quitting doesn't protect you from pain. It only guarantees regret. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that you weren't failing. You were growing. You were learning how to handle the very things that were meant to prepare you for success. Every setback, every challenge, every delay was shaping you. But quitting cuts that process short. You lose the opportunity to see what all that effort was leading to. You lose the chance to see yourself win. The truth is, you don't need to be perfect to keep going. You just need to be consistent. Progress happens when you keep showing up, even when you're tired, even when it's hard, even when you can't see results yet, because if you don't quit, you can't lose. Every time you push through instead of walking away, you get one step closer to the version of yourself who has everything you're working for. Quitting resets that journey, and you've come too far to start over again. Discomfort is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you're growing. Every goal worth chasing demands that you walk through the territory of pain, doubt, and uncertainty. That's where transformation happens. You don't build strength when things are easy. You build it when you're stretched beyond what feels comfortable. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It's born in moments that test your patience, your focus, and your resilience. The problem is most people mistake discomfort for a red flag, something that means they should stop. But in reality, it's the opposite. Discomfort is a green light. It's your signal that you're moving in the right direction, that you're breaking through limits you were never meant to stay within. Think about every skill you've ever learned or every challenge you've overcome. At first, it always felt awkward, even painful, whether it was learning to speak confidently, starting a fitness journey, or pursuing a dream that seemed impossible. The beginning felt unnatural. You stumbled, you failed, you doubted yourself, but those moments weren't signs of failure. They were steps of progress in disguise. Each uncomfortable situation is a C. Last room for growth, teaching lessons that no comfort zone ever could. The reason most people stay stuck is because they run from that discomfort instead of facing it. They think avoiding pain keeps them safe, but all it really does is keep them small. When you push through discomfort, you begin to realize that pain doesn't last forever. It changes you. It reshapes your limits. What once felt unbearable starts to feel manageable, and then suddenly it becomes easy. That's the beauty of adaptation. You grow stronger every time you refuse to let temporary pain control permanent outcomes. Every rep you push through in the gym, every rejection you face in your career, every failure you learn from, all of it compounds into strength. But that only happens if you stay long enough to let the process work. You can't grow if you quit every time things get hard. Discomfort builds discipline. It forces you to act even when you don't feel like it. It trains your mind to push past emotion and focus on purpose. When you learn to lean into discomfort instead of escaping it, you build the kind of resilience that can't be shaken by life's storms. Because life doesn't get easier, you get tougher. The situations don't stop being challenging, but you stop being fragile. You stop being the person who needs everything to feel right before taking action. And instead, you become someone who takes action regardless of how things feel. Every time you choose discomfort over comfort, you invest in your future self. You're building mental muscles that most people never develop because they tap out when things get hard. The truth is, the people who succeed are not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who struggle but don't stop. Discomfort is temporary, but the strength you gain from it lasts forever. So when you're in the middle of something hard, don't run from it. Use it. Let it refine you, not define you. Because the moment you stop fearing discomfort is the moment you start becoming unstoppable. The mind is the battlefield where every victory and every defeat begins. Long before you see results in the real world, the outcome is already being shaped in your thoughts. If you convince yourself that you can't, that it's too hard, that you're not ready, then your actions will follow that belief. Your body obeys the story your mind tells it. That's why mastering your mindset is the single most powerful thing you can do when you're chasing a goal. The truth is, motivation fades, but mental discipline keeps you moving. It's not about waiting to feel ready. It's about training your mind to keep going even when every part of you wants to stop. Your thoughts can either build you or break you. When you wake up and tell yourself that today will be another hard day, it will be. But when you decide that no matter how hard it gets, you're going to push forward, something shifts inside you. Your energy changes. You start to act differently. The difference between people who succeed and those who give up isn't luck or talent. It's the strength of their mindset. They've learned how to silence the voice of doubt and replace it with a voice that says, I can handle this. It's not that they don't feel fear or frustration. It's that they don't let those emotions make their decisions. They've learned how to think stronger than they feel. The mind loves comfort. It wants you to stay safe, to avoid risk, to protect you from failure. But success demands that you do the opposite, that you step into uncertainty, face challenges, and take bold actions without guarantees. The only way to override your mind's need for comfort is to train it through repetition. Every time you push past fear, every time you keep going despite exhaustion, you're teaching your brain that you're capable of more. You're rewiring your mental patterns from I can't to I can. The more you do it, the stronger that belief becomes. There will be days when your body feels tired, when your emotions feel heavy, when nothing around you gives you a reason to keep going. Those are the moments when your mindset matters most, because success is built on the days when you show up without feeling like it. Your mind has to become your strongest muscle, not your weakest excuse. You don't have to feel powerful to act powerful. You just have to take one more step, one more try, one more push. When you control your mind, you control your life. You can't always control circumstances, but you can control how you respond to them. That's the power of mindset. It gives you freedom from the chaos of the world around you. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. You stop being led by emotions and start being led by purpose. Because at the end of the day, your success isn't determined by what happens to you. It's determined by how you think about what happens. The person with the strongest mindset doesn't always have the easiest path, but they always finish the race. Every goal you've ever dreamed of achieving is waiting on the other side of consistency. Not talent, not luck, not perfect timing, consistency. The ability to keep showing up even when you don't feel like it, to keep putting in the effort when no one is watching, to stay committed when the excitement is gone. That's the real secret. Success doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly through hundreds of small decisions that compound over time. Most people quit because they underestimate the power of those small daily actions. They think progress should be big, visible, and fast, but real growth is silent. It's happening behind the scenes every time you keep going instead of giving up. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not the big motivational moments that make the difference. It's the quiet ones when you choose to keep moving forward anyway. It's waking up early even when you're tired. It's working on your goals when no one is cheering for you. It's believing in yourself when the results aren't there yet. Those are the moments that build unshakable confidence. Every time you follow through, you strengthen your trust in yourself. You prove to your mind that your word means something, that when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. That's how self-belief is built, not from achievements, but from consistency. Consistency turns effort into identity. When you repeat something long enough, it becomes part of who you are. You stop saying I'm trying and start saying I am. That shift changes everything. It takes you from chasing motivation to living discipline, because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on your mood or circumstances, but discipline stays. Discipline is built on consistency, on the promise you make to yourself that no matter what happens, you'll keep going. When you master that, you stop relying on external validation. You no longer need the world to believe in you because you've already proven to yourself that you're unstoppable. There's something powerful about knowing that even on your worst days, you can still move forward, that even when you feel defeated, you still show up. That kind of consistency builds resilience. It teaches you that progress doesn't require perfection. It just requires persistence. You don't need to be the best. You just need to refuse to stop. Every time you stay consistent, you're adding another brick to the foundation of your future. The structure might not look complete yet, but every day you show up, it gets stronger. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't that one group had it easier. It's that one group refused to stop. They kept going through boredom, frustration, and fatigue. They understood that success isn't about doing something once with passion. It's about doing it repeatedly with purpose. Because the truth is, consistency will always beat intensity. It's not the person who works the hardest for one day who wins. It's the one who works steadily, day after day, until the results have no choice but to appear. There comes a moment in every journey when everything inside you wants to stop, when the exhaustion feels heavier than your dreams, when the silence after your efforts feels louder than the progress you can't yet see. But that moment, that exact breaking point, is where everything changes. That's the edge between who you are and who you're meant to become. You don't grow in comfort. You don't evolve when it's easy. You grow when you refuse to quit, when you keep walking even with trembling legs, when you decide that your purpose is bigger than your pain. You've come too far to stop now. Every step, every sleepless night, every ounce of effort you've poured into your goals, it all matters. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. You've learned, you've adapted, you've survived. And no matter what's happened, you're still here. That alone means you're capable of finishing what you started. The finish line might be out of sight, but it's closer than you think. The strength you're looking for isn't somewhere ahead. It's already inside you, waiting to be used. The pain you feel right now will fade, but the pride you'll feel from not giving up will stay forever. One day, you'll look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point, the time when you could have quit, but you didn't. The time when life tried to break you, but you fought back. You'll thank yourself for holding on just a little longer, because everything you've ever wanted, the success, the peace, the fulfillment, it's waiting for you on the other side of this challenge. All you have to do is keep going. So take a deep breath. Remind yourself why you started. Stand tall even if you're tired, because this is your story and you get to decide how it ends. You're not done yet. You're just getting stronger. Don't quit now. You're almost there. Thank you so much for watching and for giving your time and heart to this message. If this speech connected with you, let it be your reminder that you are capable of more than you think. Keep fighting, keep believing, and never stop showing up for yourself, because your future self is watching and they're proud of you. Stay strong, keep moving, and remember, your story isn't over yet. This is just the beginning. Until next time, take care, stay focused, and never, ever give up. Thank you.